Do you suffer from mild to severe brain damage to your temporal lobe? Cerebral cortex co can help. Do you have trouble hearing?
What?
Do you have trouble hearing? Finding meaning in what you see and hear in life. Trouble with perceiving or recognizing or processing names, faces, scenes, objects. Do you have trouble talking or remembering things? Order Cortex Co's Temporal Lobe-in-a-Box now, because you probably won't remember it later. Hello, I'm Dr. Brain Yi, also known as the Lobe Doctor. I've worked extensively on the development and testing of this new product, the Lobe-in-a-Box. The Lobe-in-a-Box is specially harvested from cerebral cortex co from lesser deserving Homo sapiens. Your lobe is packed with these wonderful little neurons ready to zap your brain into action. The temporal lobe is located directly below the sylvian fissure. Your temporal lobe includes the auditory cortex, where auditory signals from the ear reach the cerebral cortex for the first time. These signals are also processed in the temporal lobe. In the left part of the temporal lobe, we've included Wernicke's area, which helps in producing meaningful and comprehensible speech. Other parts of the left temporal lobe help low-level perception, comprehension, names, verbal memory, and other language functions. The right side of the temporal lobe is involved in musical comprehension and ability, and people with damage there often have amusia, a musical disorder which results in tone deafness and other musical incapabilities. The ventral side, or the underside of the temporal lobe's cerebral cortex, is involved in high-level visual processing. It has the fusiform gyrus, responsible for processing faces, and the parahippocampal gyrus, which is involved in processing scenes. Object perception and recognition is another feature of this area. The medial temporal lobe, right here in the middle, near the split between the right and left brain hemispheres, helps with memory. The structures here are essential to explicit memory, the stuff you consciously remember, like facts and events. Nested deep in the temporal lobe is the hippocampus, a structure responsible for long-term memory and spatial navigation. While the main brain structure mainly associated with memory is the hippocampus, the areas of the medial temporal lobe that surround the hippocampus are also crucial to memory. We tried an experiment with monkeys, and we found that lesions to the hippocampus only slightly affected memory, but lesions in both the hippocampus and the medial temporal lobe cause severe impairment. The hippocampus often steals some of the spotlight from the other parts of the medial temporal lobe, its partner in the memory business. The temporal lobe-in-a-box has much to offer, whether you're a public speaker or musician or full-time student. That's right! All these features of the temporal lobe-in-a-box can be yours today for $299.99 plus shipping and handling and the cost of any lawsuits. And for just $75 more, you can get an extra wrinkly version of the Lobe-in-a-Box. Order now. Just call or click at 1-800-LOBE-BOX or www.lobeinabox.com. Again, that's 1-800-LOBE-BOX or www.lobeinabox.com. But wait! If you order within the next half hour, we'll throw in a bonus hippocampus for all your memory needs. That's right, a free hippocampus if you order within the next 30 minutes at 1-800-LOBE-BOX or www.lobeinabox.com. And now, let's hear from a few of our satisfied customers.
Several years ago, I was hitting on a girl and she hit me in my left temporal lobe, taking out my Wernicke's area. From then on, I was never able to cohesively express my love, or anything else for that matter, to anyone. When I tried to ask the real girl of my dreams to form last year, my friends tell me it came out something like this. Needless to say, it was the most embarrassing, most painful rejection of my life. I need a moment. But after using Temporal Lobe-in-a-Box, I have become a bard, a great orator in the strain of Shakespeare, Milton, and Mark Antony. I am now happily in a Facebook official relationship. Thanks, Lobe-in-a-Box.
While my day job is teaching, my true passion is bullfighting. A few years ago, I was involved in a serious bullfighting accident. The doctors told me that my right temporal lobe was damaged by the bull's horn, specifically in my fusiform gyrus. They had mentioned that this would cause a condition called prosopagnosia, an inability to recognize faces, but I was too drugged to comprehend and remember it. When I returned to work, I could not recognize the faces of my students. I knew who they were, but I couldn't put a name or an identity to any of the faces. They all looked the same to me. 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, and 2 ears. My My students soon figured this out, and that's where the problem started. I had them use name tags so I could identify them, but on several occasions, especially test days, they would switch, and I wouldn't have a clue. This led to an unstoppable cheating epidemic that almost got me fired. But thanks to Lobe-in-a-Box's temporal lobe, I have a job and full facial recognition abilities. Woohoo!
One spring day, I was skipping through a meadow, but then I tripped and fell off a cliff, hitting my head over and over. This solo here damaged my medial temporal lobes and my hippocampi. And what happened next? I was rushed to the hospital and mostly recovered, but I couldn't remember anything that happened after the fall. I started failing classes because I forgot to go to them, and also because I couldn't remember any of the information. Each day of my life was a dreadful affair, switching around like a fish, unable to remember where it was to go or what it was to do. Then after months, I started to use the temporal Lobe-in-a-Box. After I started to use it, I can now remember the year Columbus sailed on his ocean voyage, my great-grandmother's birthday, and what I had for dinner last night, and much more. Lobe-in-a-Box saved me from forgetting what life was all about.
I often refer my clients to cerebral cortex company's Temporal Lobe-in-a-Box. It helps my patients with all kinds of disorders, including Wernicke's, aphasia, prosopagnosia, amnesia, amusia, temporal lobe epilepsy, and more. In fact, we see results in 100% of our patients who use Lobe-in-a-Box. Get Lobe-in-a-Box and change your mind like it has for so many of my patients.
Order your temporal Lobe-in-a-Box today, starting at $299.99. Call us at 1-800-LOBE-BOX. We have dedicated representatives waiting to take your order, your name, your address, your credit card number, your social security number, and your bank PIN number. Alternatively, you can visit us online at www.lobeinabox.com. The Lobe-in-a-Box is also available in frontal, parietal, and occipital varieties, each starting at the same low price of $299.99 plus shipping and handling and litigation costs. Order now. We guarantee you'll lobe it.
Lobe-in-a-Box may not be for everyone. Please consult your doctor before using Lobe-in-a-Box. Side effects may include mental retardation or other brain damage, and in rare cases, loss of all brain function. Lobe-in-a-Box is not guaranteed to make you smarter, solve your life problems, or help you get into college. Please think responsibly.